Well, you and Carolyn both.
Oh, man.
You are brought by Dieter to arrive at the gates. Bring everything you'll need.
Okay. I'll show up with all my stuff. I assume I can re-up all my bolts to a full 20.
Absolutely. You could bring 80 if you want.
Oh, I don't wish. Hopefully we're good with 20. Yeah, I'll bring sort of all my armor and crossbow and everything that I would take if I were going to be going out just to survive alone.
He brings you to the gate, and you see Carolyn has brought her Hound Rex with her, and all kitted up. He looks to you. Only 2 trackers this time. That's disappointing. Alright, scouts. You're with me. He just looks down. I hope your boots are well worn. As you head outside the gates, instead of going south like him, you head north. You travel about 3 days into these northern woods, far past where Trincinia lives, into what most call the Huatichi Empire. Dieter looks back to you, Flora. How long have you been a hunter?
I don't know, since forever. I mean, nothing extensive, just slingshots and squirrels and all that, yeah.
A familial thing? Your father, mother, they hunters?
I suppose you could say my father was a hunter of a sort.
So, about the time you get to here, he stops for the night and pulls out a map and says, you need to get him to here. He lets you know that winter will be arriving shortly, so shouldn't be too many night creatures out. However, the Huatichi might. So it's your job to navigate around them, find the safest path, and he shows you like a drawing that looks like a giant red rock that has a carved hole out at the center. You need to find me this, both of you. I will just be watching from here on out.
Independently, or?
I wouldn't recommend it, but you certainly can.
Right. I suppose, are we on like a formal road?
No, God, no. Thick forestry, all the way up and down.
Um, so I guess we'd start by taking a minute to do some orienteering and I think the easiest way through would be to find like a game trail.
As you find one, you see Dieter come behind you. Trail. Certainly the fastest way to travel, but also the most noticeable. Is that a risk you're willing to take? You hear Carolyn pop up. Better than making a bunch of noise through the woods. Just get caught from being too loud.
Carolyn, is that hound capable of alerting if something is on the air?
Wouldn't sure Rex would know far before we would.
So hopefully we'll have a little warning if we need to disappear in the foliage.
Sounds like you have a good plan then. One last thing. Hand over any rations you might have.
Does Carolyn like immediately start to comply?
No, she doesn't comply with anything. I'll leave you here if you don't, and you'll just fail. That's fine with me.
I will try to dig around in my pack such that he can't see inside of it and pull out.
Roll me an investigation real quick.
Oh, okay. Investigation.
Okay. So you look around your pack and you see that I mean, everything you packed is there. You see Carolyn does reluctantly hand over hers.
I want to hand over all but one.
He just looks at you.
Yes.
There any reason why you're taking these actions?
I don't know what you mean.
He just holds a single finger up, like reciting something he heard one time. If you're not the smartest person in the room, then don't pretend you are. If you have a reason for what you're doing, please inform me.
Sort of squints at him and then rolls her eyes a bit and hands over the last ration.
He just looks down at it. Oh, I see them. Well, you've made your choice. Proceed. He just looks over to Rex. I'm sorry, boy. None for you either. Oh, and one last thing. Do not trust any frogs you see.
Oh yes, I think we've learned that one. I guess we'll take off.
You roll me a survival check with advantage because there is 2 of them, unless you want to do it on your own.
No, I like a little advantage.
You start trying. So you chose a game.
Can I?
Go ahead.
Can I re-roll it?
Certainly can. Yeah, you have that.
Nope.
You would re-roll it with advantage though.
Oh well. Nope.
Okay, so that's 12 though. You are traveling down a game trail, which is fairly easy to travel, but eventually it does end in a massive cliff. Roll me a perception. You can tell that at this cliff there is silt, like it's arcing, and there's a layer of silt there, and it probably goes down about 70 feet in an oval shape, so kind of like this.
Okay.
Let me ask you, now that you're without food tracking through hostile territory, what is your first objective?
Don't be seen.
That's a good one, certainly. I could even see you making that first. However, we're not going to be moving slowly, and we're not going to be stopping frequently. You might want to focus on finding some water that is usable.
How long have we been out?
This is your second going into third day. Before you've had water skins. Now you are without them.
Okay. It's usually at the bottom of a cliff is a river.
Especially one covered in silt.
Yeah.
So
we could try walking sort of along cliff's edge to find if there's a route we can climb down.
sure. It is slanted like this. So the east side is higher and it steadily descends. No, I'm sorry. The west side is higher and it descends down eastward. So your high ground is on the west.
So we can start moving down.
Which way? West or east? Or do you just try to cross over the ravine?
I want to get down to the bottom of the ravine.
Okay. Easy.
Or maybe I
you
don't want to get down to the bottom of the ravine.
See, he sees you sort of pondering this. Number one rule of survival, Flora. Everything is a risk.
I think I'm thinking. So would it be in the right direction if we got down to the bottom of the ravine and then tried to follow it upstream?
That would definitely lead you to where the water was.
But would it be in the right direction of where we're trying to go long term?
It would be like this. So sort of catty corner.
Okay.
You can see because there's mountains over here. You
Hmm.
you can tell that it's probably a mountain that has since dried up in this area.
I think we should try to do that for a while and then cut back up northeast when it is appropriate again.
Gotcha. You head that way for about a solid day, and you start to see the trickle off of water once more. You see Dieter look back over his shoulder. We've been followed.
I'll look at Carolyn and say, "What was that about the dog?
If,
Supposed
some,
to help?"
if something was close, I would know. I'm sure Rex would pick up on it. If he weren't 3 days, and they weren't about 5 miles away. You have time. But they will gain on us if you don't figure something out.
I think we should start climbing out of the ravine then.
I agree. Then proceed.
So we will start trying to do that. Is it like straight up? It's not like a straight up and down. It's like sloping into a valley kind of vibes.
Yeah, like a half a cylinder.
Okay. If there's like another stream that comes down to join the whatever we're following, that would be like an ideal.
So you can absolutely find a delta.
And we start heading up. That way.
You start heading up, and you start to see pockets of water all along, and you start to see more mist around you. To eventually, you come to this opening. Well, actually, roll me a survival, and you have advantage on it. Or you could, describe to me how you look for something.
Well, I don't know what I'm looking for, but if I was seeing pools of water, my interest would be in knowing whether they were naturally formed. And then I don't know, mist-wise, everything is sort of misty, I think, all the time a little bit.
Yeah, it's mostly about avoiding the densest pockets.
Yeah, is it bad mist or is it like
It's moderate.
regular mist?
Yeah, you've traveled through, but you do notice that it's starting to collect in more pockets than before.
Cool. Survival with advantage? Cool. Whatever.
You don't pick up on anything. You see Erica sort of like look around, like she pokes the ground and puts her finger up. Moist here. There must be a saturation of water nearby.
Can we hear anything like waterfall, moving water?
Oh. As you start looking around, you see Dieter get like real close and hunch over you because he's a pretty big dude. It's like you're looking with your wrong senses, Laura. Carolyn might be skilled. She might understand what's around her. But you were born into this. This is our domain. Feel what's around you.
She's definitely going to give him kind of a like a what sort of expression at that. She's like not really sure what he's talking about. I don't know what that means. I certainly wasn't born into anything like this.
You might not think it, but it's the case. I could travel down any path here and not be lost, and so could you. I know that. I'm not bragging. It's just a fact. Nature and the gnashing of teeth has never cared about what we feel. It only cares about what is. And I know you can find the paths that are hidden here. And I know you can sense the enemies that are upon us. He starts walking, but perhaps we're not ready yet. And you see him just walk into a bramble as if it wasn't even there.
She'll start to follow him, and at the edge of the bramble sort of stop and like very cautiously reach out and try to touch it.
Yeah, your hand passes right through it. Like it's not sharp thorns, but gentle leaves and reeds.
The fuck? Is there like other bramble around?
Certainly is. As you look all around it, it looks like this place has been encapsulated.
She'll sort of do like a loop around and try to touch all of it to see if it's all.
Oh, most of it is. This
Like
one
that.
spot is not.
Is it visibly different?
Looks the same. It just the bristles, the thick thorns, the wrapping viney tendrils, they all just give way like they're made of tall grass.
She'll like she thinks about what he says about like using the wrong senses, and will, feeling very stupid for doing it, will close her eyes and try to like just feel the vibes, man.
Just feel it out, bro.
As you start to sense it, you feel the thick, brambly nature, and then this small entryway, almost like a mouth to the world, where it can breathe in the outside. You feel it. You sense the paths all around you. You feel the strange creatures that are looming far too close for your liking.
Can I get a read on how many creatures? I think not. Probably.
Why don't you roll me a wisdom save? You
Yeah.
definitely, you can differentiate them. You know there's several Type 2s around, predominantly, but there are a couple of Type 3s, and you know one of them specifically is closing in on you.
We need to go. Think Carolyn double time.
She looks back at you as she's already heading in. Yep, agreed. As you head into this massive outbranch of thicket, you can see that this is definitely a place that people have used before. As you see sitting up on this hillside, Dieter just swinging his leg over the side. So, glad you decided to join. You look like you know something is upon us now.
I sure do.
Now the
We should-
question you have to ask yourself, is it gonna find us here?
One can hope it won't. I don't think that. I don't think those things are as cognizant as you and I. So
Here today you find one that is. You see Carolyn get up here and lift Rex up. If it's gonna come, we should find somewhere to hide. Cover our tracks. Some of these things can sense heat. So we gotta cover ourselves with something cold.
Carolyn, I wouldn't have taken you as one who likes to rummage in the muck, but
He just looks back over to you. Rather do that than die, I suppose.
is this like a cave?
It looks like it's a shallow cave. It was deeper, but it's been closed in, but there are a lot of loose rocks.
What seems more dangerous, going into the cave or not going into the cave?
As you reach down, it seems pretty like it's caved in a long time ago, but the rocks are really cold to the touch.
So we would stand out against it?
As you say this, unless we buried ourselves under them.
That seems terrifying, but unless you have a better thought.
I do. We find a hollowed log, we could place it in there and stack rocks over it. Hide inside. Won't be able to pick up our heat. Hopefully not our smell either.
Alright, I guess we'll canvas the area for something we can building material
You see
like
Dee
this.
jump down. Oh, sounds like you have a plan. I'll come back to check on you.
That's okay. So I guess we'll set out to trying to make our little hidey hole.
So roll me survival with advantage.
You know, statistically,
It
at some point it has to be good.
does, right? That is.
Maybe not this
Statistics
session.
has no memory, I'm afraid.
But it does.
Apparently it doesn't suck.
Oh, BB. So you make this nice barricade that the three of you cuddle into. Like, oh, not cuddle. You crawl into. There we go. That's the- And you hear massive, like, buds. Scuttle, that's the word. Yeah, scuttle. Before you hear like a very disgusting croaking sound. That sounds like a mix between a heavy, bassy croak and hollow shrieks from inside of it. Here you go. Welcome for you.
Oh my god. Hey, that's not my frog.
What in the name of fuck?
Yeah.
How did someone even think of that?
How far does
like
Ralph
it.
go?
As you see it hear something after drinking some of this foul water before leaping off again. And you hear
Which direction does it leap?
it leaps out of the clearing.
I think we should give it a solid half an hour.
As you wait 25 minutes, you hear a hop one more time. As now you're sure it's gone. You just see Carolyn look over to you. A trap.
What'd she say?
She just looks to you. It set a trap for us. It thought we were here and it was waiting for us.
That's terrifying.
She crawls out, like you can see the recent sediment of where it kicked off its massive legs. She looks back to you. All right. Water? Maybe see if we can forage for anything. I'll work on water, you work on foraging.
Sure. I'll work on foraging.
You see her grab rocks and a mortar and pestle and start trying to grind them down into a paste as she comes over here to the water and puts them in the dirt and then digs a deeper trench beside it. So, what do you do?
I guess I'm foraging. And keeping an eye out for anything that looks like a little critter.
Gotcha. So, roll me a nature. Oh yeah, you can easily tell. A lot of the stuff is poisonous,
Mm-hmm.
as to be expected. A lot of it's desiccated desecrated. But you do find a particular an herb. It doesn't taste good, but it does have calories. So while it might be bitter ginseng to get down, it at least has some calories in it.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You certainly do. As you come back, you see Carolyn has created a small little fire that she's boiling this water she salted out.
This might taste better if it's boiled as well.
It's okay. You can do it. I don't know if Rex will eat it, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right, boy? You spend the night eating your bitter herb and drinking your potable water. Not palatable, but it any port in a storm.
Sure.
As the following morning, Dieter comes back, ready to go.
Whenever you're ready.
He ushers you forward and just goes over. Almost done, boy. And pats Rex. As you get back on the trail, roll me another nature and then survival with advantage.
Alright. Straight nature.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you're gonna really need that survival to pull heavy duty.
And survival with advantage.
Oh, it did. It did.
Thank Jay.
So the lay of the land hasn't clicked to you, but you certainly know how to dead reckon. You find ways to terrain associate, find objects to recorrect your path. And you arrive at this statue, and it is frigid around it. You see, well, the upper and left half is very cold, and the bottom and right half is very warm. So, something like this. Actually, be more.
Brought to you by Pepsi Cola.
I was just going yin yang, but yeah, that's
We're doing sponsorships now.
Sweet.
brought to you by Raid Shadow Legend.
Do you know why I brought you here?
Do I know why you brought us here?
Do you have a guess?
Well, now that we're here, I imagine there's something beyond just proving that we can navigate. Feed ourselves.
Certainly did well. You should give yourself credit for that. You avoided anything poison. No one got dysentery. You did great. Not to mention, none of you were masticated.
Well, that's a way to phrase that.
Now, I'm going to leave and come back, and you're going to be invisible to me. Sound like a plan?
Sure.
I'll demonstrate. Walk 500 meters that way, and then come back. He steps in this cold water, and I will not move. Aaron just looks at you like, what is he on about?
I guess we'll walk 500 meters away and turn around.
As you're walking and coming back, she's like, we went into the heart of an ancient empire to find a sauna.
I don't know what to tell you, Carolyn. It's just a lot of doing what we're told.
She just like goes to respond and just like hangs her head a little.
Sort of clap her on the shoulder. Say, yeah.
You come back into this alcove. You notice that there is no one standing where he was. Although as you look, you can see that there is clearly a disruption in the water exactly where he was standing.
Can I pick up a rock and throw it at him?
You certainly can.
Okay, I will.
Throw a rock and you hear a ting. I should have blocked it, but I was very committed. As you see him stand out and reappear to you as he comes out the water. Now
Like
then,
are you going to like count to 100 or something?
oh, you'll need much longer than me counting to 100. I suspect we'll be here for several days. If you can master it at all. But I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can. How do creatures see at night? Did guests? No? He just looks back and forth. Okay. Certain animals have a reflective lens in their eye that helps them see at night because it projects light out of it. That's why you can see that little glow. Others can sense heat, like a viper. What you're doing is connecting with the domain itself. And you're going to be changing your natural color to a shade of green and reducing your body temperature. It's going to be miserable at first, and you might feel like you're dying. But I believe you can do it. And if you get too cold, he just points over, there's a hot spring. So, get to it as he walks his 500 meters out.
Is there anywhere in this zone that we're in that's like very dark?
Oh, yeah, the whole thing has a natural canopy over it.
I want to try to go to the darkest spot. And I don't know. I don't really quite buy all of this.
Know how I
I guess
change?
I'll try to be cold.
You see Carolyn shivering. I'm gonna turn blue, not green. As he comes back. No, I can see you. Keep trying. Think of plants. Plants are naturally green. Maybe that'll work.
I'm gonna think of the frog. That was green.
Frogs are green. I also don't notice the temperature is changing, though it's too late. You spend a day practicing and just being very cold. As you come back, you see Dieter bring some food, all the rations, as well as some fresh meat he's cooked up. How's it going? Oh, nope, can see you. Not going well. That's fine. It takes practice.
Think I think at some point in this process, Flora will start to get so used to doing it that it will stop feeling like stupid and hokey. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
And it will be like she's like unintentionally participating.
As you keep practicing, you start to feel that connection to the world that you felt before, and you start really melding into your environment. And you hear Carolyn call, "Wait, where'd you go?"
I'm not gonna respond to her.
You hear her just like sort of like cursing under her breath. Right. As
I want to try to take a step closer to her while still being invisible.
yeah, absolutely, full stealth. With advantage.
Come on, roll 20. I know. If there's a map open in another tab. It's okay. Stealth. Oh, why am I good at stealth?
Oh yeah, you creep right up on her.
Sucks to suck, Carolyn. I'm gonna lean in her ear and go, boom.
Like you see her like flip around and slip and go under the water.
I'll pull her out of the water.
You see your teeth chattering. It's too cold for that. Like,
Oh, come on.
how did you do it?
I think you have to stop thinking it's stupid and just sort of like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's about trying so much as it's just about
A state of being? You see him pop out of the water behind you. Think you got it. Also, I would just like to point out if any of you were changing clothes, I would have left. I wasn't being creepy or anything.
hadn't thought of it until whatever.
That being said, excellent job, Flora. Why don't you go warm yourself up?
Okay, I will.
He just looks down at Carolyn. You only get better one way. Sometimes that comes through a lot of suffering. But once you can accept what is and buy into the silliness, you'll get there. But you stay there for the night. Do you do anything at camp?
No,
Just rest?
not anything that's not. Yeah, not anything that's not like normal shit, normal camping shit. Look for some food. I guess if we're camping here, I might try to set up like a little like a snare.
Mhm.
for our poor doggo. And then that's it.
Okay. You set up a snare. And there are some creatures you've seen in here. Not all corrupted. A lot of the fast creatures can still make their way through. But as you come back to camp, you notice there are... It's not as you left it.
Oh, that's scary.
Something seems off. You can't pick up any footprints necessarily, but definitely looks like something else was in here.
Are the other two around?
They are. Dieter's sitting there whittling, and Carolyn's freezing to death.
What else came through?
What?
I'll point out whatever.
She gets out with Rex, who immediately runs to the hot water before looking over there. You see him start sniffing around and walking towards the edge of camp. And he picks up a single footprint at the edge. Does indeed appear like someone was here.
What species does it look like?
It looks like a boot.
How big? Susan.
Medium size.
What to think? Single boot. What the fuck? Hang on.
You good?
What is there? A snark in your room?
I don't know what that is. It's outside. I had the window open.
Snark. Oh, no, no snark. A snipe.
Fine.
Weird. Okay, well, whatever. Sorry. I was distracted. Okay, there's a boot. Something exploding somewhere.
What? What?
No, there's this terrible noise outside the window of my building.
Huh.
It literally
Okay.
sounded like something just blew up.
Jeez. Oh, it might have been a car. Like an exhaust.
Okay,
No,
that's
Does it say car blew up? I was like, we don't live in Ireland.